Hi everybody, welcome to Adobe Live on Behance.net. My name's Michael Jarrett. I'm an Associate Creative Director here at Adobe. Joining me is a talented designer, Andrea Hock.
Thank you. Hi everyone, excited to be here.
Yeah, so Andrea is one of our 2018 Adobe Creative residents, so we're really lucky to have her on stream. We're gonna be going live this same time for the next 3 days, so be sure to tune in. With that in mind, let's go ahead and take a look at the schedule for today because we've also had a really packed day of really talented designers. Starting this morning, we've had an XD Creative Challenge, and then we had a couple streams before this. So this schedule is gonna replicate for the next couple days, so be sure to tune in all day, starting tomorrow. Here we are, 1 to 3 p.m. slot. So this is the last stream of the day. We're gonna go over a few things that are gonna happen today. What's cool, we're gonna do a chat and win. If you're not familiar with that, we're gonna be giving away this XD pouch. So pretty good sized pouch. I'm not sure what,
Very nice.
yeah, I don't know what you'd put in this. A whole bunch of styluses and mice and
Love it.
yeah.
Thank you.
So that'll happen in about 30 minutes or so, and we'll have some more instructions before that happens so you can enter for your chance to win this. Additionally, we love to know where you're from, so if you're joining us in chat on behance.net/live, go ahead and say hello. Let us know where you're from, whether you're sleeping, whether you're kind of watching at work, or you're just starting your day, just ending your day. Always good to get a sense for who's here. And then later in the segment, we're going to be taking a look at some of today's XD challenge submissions. So if you've been working on that today, the challenge tab has all the information you need. What's cool is you get a chance to design a mobile app today. It's a mobile app for sending cash to friends or family. So go ahead and use XD to create some screens, prototype a workflow there about sending money. And at about an hour and a half from now, we'll be taking a look at those. We'll review them. We'll give design feedback. It's always really great to see everyone's work. So that challenge will happen again tomorrow, starting in the morning. And the following day. So always a good chance to get your work reviewed. So with that, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
You ready?
Yes,
Cool.
totally.
I think we're ready.
To design today.
Nice. So we have people
Yeah.
joining from South Africa,
Wow.
Bermuda, Missouri.
Yay, Missouri.
Yeah.
I'm from St. Louis.
Represent. So Arizona, South Africa,
All
Kentucky.
over.
Yeah, totally.
Wow.
Let's go ahead and show your portfolio, and maybe you can talk a
Yeah,
little bit
totally.
about what you do and what you're doing this year, and then what we're gonna do today.
Yeah. So like he mentioned, I'm an Adobe Creative resident this year. So today I'm going to be working on one of my series that I do called an automated hack series. So basically every few days I ask people to give me some advice on ideas of things that they want automated in their own lives. And then, and that could be conceptual or something very realistic. So like a few of these, some of them are like super silly, like this one right here is an automated clothes sorting app, which, lazy people like me, I would prefer not to have to sort all my clothes. So made a mobile app for that.
All right.
And yeah, lots of things like, this one, that one's more realistic. So that one is an automated sun exposure app where your Bluetooth-enabled sunglasses could tell you, like give you a vibration or something, let you know when you've had too much sun exposure.
All right.
So yeah, exploring all kinds of automated devices and things during my residency. And I guess if you guys don't know what the residency is, I'll give a little bit of background on that. So every year, Adobe picks a few artists, and we basically get to work on whatever passion project we want to, which is like every artist's dream.
A dream, right?
Except it's only a year, but still. I've really been enjoying it so far. We started in May, or end of April, early May. So I've been going on my project, and yeah, I'm exploring everything automation, and I also have a YouTube channel where I'm exploring different like automated tech devices and doing vlogs and things like that. But this year we have the most out of any year, so we have 7 residents, and we also opened up to UK this year, so that was exciting.
Oh, wow.
So in the US we have, I'm in St. Louis, and then we've got one in New York, Texas, and Portland, so literally all over. It just happened like that. And then in Europe, we've got 2 from Germany and 1 in the UK.
Great.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that that you actually sort of take ideas from the community. Is there a way that people can submit these to you?
Yes, please do. If anyone has any ideas, I'm always looking for new ones. So mostly I get ideas from like people DM me on Instagram or like Twitter too. So wherever, I'm on like every social media, so wherever you want to send me ideas is great.
Cool. So open invitation. If you have an idea for a process that you would like to see automated in your life, either to make your life easier, maybe more interesting, go ahead and submit that to Andrea, and it might kind of get prototyped and visualized, which is really cool.
Yeah.
These are really beautiful works.
Maybe someone will like pick one of these up and actually build it
Right,
out. But right now they're just like fake.
Well,
on
already,
mobile
yeah,
devices,
I know.
so,
I mean, it's
yeah.
interesting. I heard a long time ago this idea that if you do design something that solves a problem in your life, you can almost guarantee that it's going to sort of help somebody else, as opposed to sort of inventing a problem and then saying, like, you know, maybe this will help. So closed sorting is certainly certainly a good one.
Yeah.
Very cool. And we've got Voodoo Val, who's one of our moderators. She's put your Twitter and Instagram links there. So go ahead and follow Andrea on social to see how her residency's going, see all this great work. It's really gorgeous. Also on Behance, Andrea Hock there. Cool. So how about today? Or this week, I should say.
Yeah, so today, Wednesday, and Thursday, I'm going to be building out one of these. Normally I just do like a few screens instead of like, since it's not like daily, but every few days I'll just pick like 2 screens to build out. But today, since we have a little bit more time, I'll be building out more of the wireframes. So today I'm mostly just showing like my low fidelity wireframes, and then tomorrow I'll be adding the visuals, so more like higher fidelity mockup. And then on Thursday I will be actually prototyping it, and we'll do a clickable prototype on a mobile app.
Nice. And does that process generally mirror your own design practices, like low fidelity, high fidelity sort of working?
Yeah. I usually start out on paper or like iPad Pro, and then work my way up to, you know, digital, and then like physical back on the iPhone or whatever.
All right. And I think we do have some sketches today that we might be able to share. Might take a minute as our video wizards pull in the video.
But I've just got a sketchbook of all of my hastily scribbled out. I have bad handwriting, so don't judge.
Here we go.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's right side up. Okay. So yeah, today doing an automated mailbox app, and this is the user flow. I just start out like very basic. Like more high level, thinking about all the steps I want to get through. So over here, I've just listed out some of the most important features that I want to include. So that includes sorting spam from important letters, being able to change the spam settings, because obviously you don't want to miss like some important mail, like a wedding invitation or something. Seeing the history of your mail, being able, and I threw in a few extra things, like being able to lock your mailbox with a PIN number and see when the mailbox was opened. And I don't know if we'll get through some of these settings, but like privacy settings and other notifications. And then also, because we're going green, being able to recycle the spam letters.
All right.
So yeah, so in the user flow up here, we've just got some sign in, and that will take you to if you have a previous account or not. So you'll say yes or no. If you do not, you'll need to create an account, and then we'll show the welcome screen and do a little walkthrough tutorial. And for the tutorials, I always like to add like some personalized illustrations. I don't know if we'll have too much time to make the illustrations, but maybe I'll do that offline. But I think it adds more like personality to an app when you have that.
Totally.
And then, so from the tutorial, or if you already have a previous account, we'll go to the home page. And that's just like an overview of how many letters you've gotten that day, if it's spam or important letters. And then you can go to, so today's sorted mail. And then the menu will have things like your mail history, your mailbox open history, and some more settings. So the settings can include things like sorting, what's spam and what's keep, and your privacy, the lock or pin, and any notifications. So that's what I generally start out with. You know, again, very high level, not just like going directly into visuals or anything, because we need to think about like what the user actually wants to get out of this before we start all of that.
Right. And was this concept submitted to you, or is this something that you dreamed up
No,
yourself?
this was just me getting annoyed by getting a ton of spam.
Right.
So I've had enough of like Papa John's pizza coupons and all of that.
It is interesting, you know, in 2018 that this is still kind of such a problem.
Yeah.
Right? There's huge opportunities,
Right.
I think, there, and all it
Hopefully.
takes is opening your mailbox and having all this stuff
Yeah.
spill out that you immediately put in the recycling.
Exactly. And it's like, it might seem like a silly thing, like, oh, that's so simple, like sorting your mail, like that takes a second. But if you think about like, you know, in the 40s or whatever, like on your car, like windshield wipers, that at the time might have seemed like, okay, maybe it wasn't the 40s, I don't know exactly when, but at the time it seemed like something that was, you know, like trivial, like why would anyone need that? That's unnecessary. But now it's something, you know, like we take for granted. Like
Absolutely.
every car should have that. So like, you know, maybe something silly like a mailbox app, like in the future would be like, oh, everyone has that, you know?
And maybe it all starts right here
Right,
on
right.
live stream. We could be witnessing history.
Yeah. Okay, so that is the user flow. And then I'll go into my low fidelity wireframes. So yeah, like I mentioned, first I start out on paper, and then today I'll be taking these from paper and putting them into XD, making them digital. So I'll start out with this first screen. We've got the sign-on page, so just the logo, login, all of the, you know, username info on the first page. And then the welcome screen, these big boxes are just for the illustrations, obviously. So it'll just say welcome and then a little description on each of the tutorial pages. So I think my main takeaways for the tutorial are gonna be like, no more spam and go green, so like all about recycling. And these are just given a little bit of context before the user gets into the
Right.
actual app. And then keeping it secure, so you know you can add the PIN, and being able to get notifications, like getting notified if you get certain mail, if you're looking for mail from, you know, someone specific or a wedding invitation, you'll get a notification sent to your phone.
It's almost like that moment of like, I don't know, right after you order something
Yes.
for yourself, like a
Yeah.
package, and
Yes.
you just want it to be there immediately.
Right, right.
And the day that it does arrive, I mean, there might even be like a moment for like surprise and delight.
Totally.
And obviously streamlining the rest of the experience
Right,
to,
right.
that sounds fun.
Yeah. And then when we get to the home page, we're gonna have a swipe up menu, so it might be a little hard to see here, but this will just swipe up, and then these will be all the menu settings, like I already mentioned. So I guess I'll go ahead and get started in XD. I'll switch back to the first page, and I'm gonna be designing on an iPhone X. And if you wanna change that, you can just go into the drop down here, but I always do X, just whatever's latest.
Right, which is changing all the time.
Yes.
So this is a good reminder. If anybody has questions either about what Andrea is doing in XD, maybe about her design process, any curiosity that comes to mind, go ahead and let us know in the chat. We'll be taking a few opportunities to answer your questions. So always nice to hear from experts. And working,
I don't know if I'm an expert,
well,
but
working
thank you.
professionals, yeah, about this. So, you know, don't be shy. Let us know if you have any questions.
Please
we'll be
do.
sure to get to them.
So before I get into any of the UX, I usually like to, Adobe XD has some free UI kits that I use, which are really great. So I'm gonna be using the iPhone template just for like the top with like the clock and the battery and stuff. So I'll be using those.
And where do you get these UI kits?
I go up to File, and then Get UI Kits, and then you can use, I think I got this one from wireframes, or no, this one was from Apple iOS, and then you can click wireframes. My internet is not working, but that's where you get it from.
Nice.
So it's nice that it's already in XD. You don't have to worry about any of that.
Yeah, and I know that Adobe's partnered with a number of really high quality designers to actually create UI kits specific for like Apple
Awesome.
Watch, and I just saw one recently for like really interesting sort of contemporary looking website. So
Oh, cool.
yeah, it's really cool that that's really
Sweet.
integrated right there
Yeah.
within the app. And for those of you that didn't hear, I see a question about that. In the file menu, there's an option, Get UI Kits, and from there you can sort of either choose the platform or a way to get more wireframes there in the app. And they open in the app, so also like really nice and easy to just like copy and paste
Yes.
into your
Adobe Live Wireless.
XD. We're also going to get some internet set up here.
Type this in when I switch from
Oh, okay.
How do you make the 3D iPhone X on your Behance? Those are really cool. So the mock-ups.
Okay,
Cool.
so are you talking about the clickable one, or they probably are? So with that one, I mocked it all up in XD, and then I just took a QuickTime video through XD. You can do that like after you prototype it. Sorry, I'm setting up the Wi-Fi, guys. And then I actually had to switch that over to After Effects to like get the actual 3D part. But yeah, it's pretty simple. Just XD to After Effects.
Yeah, and as far as these sort of flat designs here, these white iPhone kind of mock-ups, are those available?
Oh, yeah. So the iPhone, like the background part, those are just like freebies. You can literally just like search Google for like free iPhone mock-ups.
It's kind
They're
of
everywhere.
Yeah, it's amazing too, because like as soon as an iPhone is released, it's almost like I can tell there's a part of the internet like designers racing to like get a free mock-up out there,
Yeah.
like a really high quality contemporary one.
Right.
They make it available and it has like thousands and thousands of downloads. So
Yeah.
but showcases like a really amazing sort of like level of polish when you finish your design. Go ahead and put it on these. They're gorgeous, these white ones.
Thank you. Yeah, I like to mix up between, I mean, I do mostly all iPhones, but I like to mix it up between like flat and 3D, more realistic.
Right. So Val is reminding us that it's 12 minutes until the chat and win, which is cool. We got a cool bag giveaway today,
Yay.
a pouch for all your belongings. And there will be instructions for how to do that soon, but really it's pretty simple. All you have to do is kind of sign in on behance.net/live, say hi, ask a question, just say the word hype at that point, and we'll pick a winner at random if you've participated in the chat.
Awesome. Can't wait to see what you guys come up with.
Yeah, cool. So we're back. We're back in.
Yep. We're back in XD, just starting with the wireframes. So this is the sign-in.
So how important is it for you to kind of like work really quickly? Is it like kind of quick and dirty, like you're not worried about style
Yeah.
too much?
When I'm just like throwing everything on there, just very quickly. Tomorrow will be more when I make the refinements and get a little bit more like higher fidelity.
All right.
And since we're kind of like crunched for time today,
Yeah.
gonna go a little faster.
Yeah, it definitely helps to start with sketches. Curious to know if anybody in the chat is either participating in this or previous XD daily design challenges, how they start their process. Let us know if you like to start on paper. Do you kind of put things together, where you find your inspiration, all that. Always nice when this live stream can sort of be an exchange of information and ideas between people. We've got a lot
And
of
actually, like, I really love the daily UIs. Like, that's how I really started. I think that's how I started, like, really building up my own skills. It's like, if you have to do something every day, then I feel like you learn something new every day. And I think that's part of the reason why I actually got the residency, was because I built up enough of those
Right.
daily UIs in my portfolio that I was proud of. And it's good to do something, like, outside of work, I think. Like, you might enjoy what you're already doing at work, but like something that you personally, you know, find creative and that you like outside of it is good to keep the juices flowing.
Yeah, and it doesn't really have to take all that much time. I mean, a lot of these actually daily challenges are sort of about thinking quickly and iterating and trying new things,
Right.
and then holding yourself accountable to post them and what's nice is maybe you do one of those monthly, daily challenges, and all of a sudden, after a month, you maybe have 30 new pieces of work to put in your portfolio.
Right.
It's like a really quick way to work, assuming
Totally.
you know you have the time and the drive to do it.
And I'm not saying it's easy. Like, that's like, it's a lot of work because after you get home from work, normally you
yeah.
just want to like lay on the couch,
Yep.
but you know, it takes some effort to keep working after you're tired.
Yeah. We have some praise for your work.
Thank you.
Yeah, earlier on someone says the gradient color is awesome. I assume they mean in probably some of your
Yes, I love a
portfolios.
good gradient.
Yeah.
I feel like I always do like blues and purples. I need to try to get away from those.
It's kind of hard to break the mold. I mean, it's
Yeah.
like almost an automatic reaction at
Yeah.
that point, so it can be a challenge.
And I found that, I mean, at least on like Dribble, those are the ones that like people really gravitate towards.
It is interesting to think about that platform as like another driver for
Right.
stylistic choices.
Right.
It's like kind of chase it, or how do I stand above, you know, all these other portfolio pieces is
Right.
always a challenge
Definitely.
when sharing work. Lots of people go to paper for sketching, which is great.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Blue
Yeah, it doesn't
pencil.
have to be fancy, you know.
Yeah.
Just get your ideas down.
Andrea says, another Andrea.
Oh,
One thing I love about these streams is people calling them gradients instead of ombre effects.
I like that.
Yeah,
Ombre.
ombre effects. We might have to adopt some new language here.
Yeah. So right now I'm just, I built out the sign-in page and the welcome page, and now I'm gonna start the like tutorial slash like how-to steps.
Which is incredible. I mean, you've probably been working for under 10 minutes now, maybe at 10 minutes, and we're already 3 screens in. You know, and at this point, you've sort of done your planning, but this would be a time to problem solve, you know, before you sort of
Right,
make
right.
something look incredibly like refined, and then find that there's like a major user flow problem,
Right.
something like that.
No, definitely. And I feel like it's always good to get your designs in front of as many people as you can. Like if anyone has any comments already on, you know, problems that they could see in this, like it's good to get it in front of as many people as you can as quickly as you can,
Yeah,
saving time and money.
that's right.
And down here, I'm just gonna add, actually, I'm gonna do the repeat grid. I love this thing.
It's so cool. Yeah, for those of you that don't know, this is a feature called Repeat Grid, which makes it really easy to sort of style one element. Say you have a list, or in this case, these are going to be sort of little icons that show which page you're on in a sequence. And you can just sort of design and style one of them and repeat it up or down as many times as you want, saving time, saving money.
Yep. I love it. Oh wait, I'm trying to get just one. Well, that's okay. Oh, I'm still in there.
Lots of people giving XD, the app, some love in here. Someone's asking, what's the best way to learn XD? XD being intuitive is a good start, says Emerson.
There's actually a lot of tutorials on the XD blog, I think it is, that you can use if you want to learn more. Let's see, I'll add a skip button.
So we've got about 5 minutes until chat and win, which is cool. Always a fun segment. There's a little cool animation that plays. Rob G's in the house. Hi, Rob.
I'm always usually bad about naming my artboards, but today I'm remembering.
Yeah, it can get tricky pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Suddenly find yourself 50 screens designed, and you're like, whoa. And especially when you start wiring everything up together.
Right.
Abraham coming in. The best way to learn XD quickly is by realizing that you only have about 100 years to live. So
There you go.
that's a pretty optimistic estimate as
Yeah.
well, so nice there.
And if anyone has ideas for illustrations that can go in any of these, let me know.
All
Because I'll
right.
be doing that tomorrow.
Do you have a personal illustrative style? Or, I mean, obviously, if this is a client project, it might have to fit with the brand
Right.
guideline, but
I guess the audience here is really just like anyone that owns a mailbox, but I guess probably someone that's more techie would be
Right.
buying this.
right.
So, I don't know, I guess I might go something more towards the gradients. Might keep it like cooler tones and yeah, we'll see tomorrow though.
Interesting. Those are also really kind of hard illustrations to solve. Saying things like "go green" or "this is secure" or
yeah.
"no more spam" those are pretty big
Right.
messages.
How do you like
right?
depict that in an
Uh-huh.
illustration? Yeah.
Always a challenge.
If anyone has any questions about the residency too, I'd be happy to answer those.
Yeah. Let's see. Is there an easy way to get prototypes from XD to AI? I know you can export to SVG or PDF, but that tends to make layers a nightmare. That is interesting. Yeah, I think the export
Yeah.
options are mostly to flatten them.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure how extensive the PDF export options are. Sometimes you could save layers or... It's definitely easier, I'll say, to go from Illustrator into XD, like if you want to do your illustrations there, to use this as an example.
Right.
I know XD recently had an update, and you can copy stroke styles and bring
Right.
them into XD now, which is cool. It used to, if you were drawing a line, just kind of have really no options but color
Right.
and width.
Well, they do have, I mean, now they do have a stroke, but if you want something like more, like if you want dash and then gap and then more options, more complex, then you definitely bring it from Illustrator. But yeah. That was much needed. I'm glad they
Yeah,
added that.
yeah. Well, it's great. The product team sort of like listens to
Yeah,
the community. There's
no,
a
they
place
really
to go
are.
submit your feature requests, and like it's just crowdsourced.
Yeah.
The most like appreciated requests are get put into the product
Definitely.
timeline.
No, I feel like they're really listening.
Yeah.
And they want to do it right, you know? They're really listening to what everyone wants. Okay. This will be the fourth one. So then, yeah, we'll add a get started button.
Got some questions. All right. Who is the residency with?
Adobe. Was that a trick question?
I think it was a real
What do you
question.
mean?
Yeah. Yeah, so what's the like couple sentence summary of Adobe Creative Residency?
It's definitely like you get to work on whatever you want, so you have to submit a project proposal. And that was like back in January. And so mine was all about exploring automated devices and like how technology can improve our lives. And IoT, which is the connection between the internet and all of our everyday objects so we can communicate with them. But yeah, so you submit a proposal, and if they like it, if they see something in it, then you'll go in for an interview or two or more. Yeah, and try to like think outside the box, or like things that could, like things that are relevant maybe. So like mine, for instance, is really relevant with like, there's a lot of like privacy issues these days, and just like IoT is a very like sexy thing right now, you know?
Right.
So yeah, if you think about like something relevant, and if they see that you're really passionate about it, I think they'll be interested in your project. And they're looking for people that don't necessarily have like 15 years of experience, but maybe you're like a little bit out of school, like you've got a little bit of experience under your belt, but they're really helping to like grow artists. And obviously I'm an experienced designer, but they're looking for all types of artists. So like photographers, typographers, videographers, illustrators, all over the board. So they're really trying to, help us grow our career. So basically we get to do things like this, like we get exposure, kind of like building our brand equity, and we get to work on our project. They give us like the resources and tools and like networking.
Yeah.
So like I've gone to a bunch of like design conferences, which is awesome. And we went to 99U, and then we're going to be going to Adobe Max in October, which I'm so excited about.
I know, it's going to be huge.
I love Adobe Max.
Yeah.
And yeah, and then we like speak at creative jams events. I spoke at one up at Target in Minneapolis a month ago. So yeah, lots of different kinds of things, like pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. Like I had never done a speaking engagement before, so that was like really exciting.
You see these fireworks here?
Woo,
you know
party!
what that means? We're gonna do a chat and win soon, so we're gonna play a little animation, then when we come back, you're gonna chat and somebody's gonna win.
Cool.
Cool, welcome back. So for the next minute, chat, ask questions, say hi, say something friendly to your neighbor, and we will pick a random winner from those in the chat. If you have nothing to say, just say hype. Everyone says that. And we will pick a winner for this bag. They call this the XD bag. I think it must be because,
Is there anything in it?
well, there's like a little wireframe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Love it.
and I've
That's
heard,
cute.
I heard from a robot behind the scenes that there might be some goodies inside this bag when it arrives
Ooh,
at the lucky doorsteps
surprise.
of our winner, assuming it doesn't get sorted out in the mail app.
Yes.
Money bag. Do they still have socks? We do have socks. I don't know when they'll be making an appearance again, but I saw a lot of socks
I
backstage.
love those socks.
They're really
Those are
cool. The sock collection is expanding, so come back every week.
Oh, are there new ones now?
I think so.
Oh.
Well, I've only seen XD socks, which are really
Okay.
great. The like pinkish magenta
Yeah,
color is really
yeah.
awesome, but I saw some Illustrator socks and Photoshop socks. I don't know if that's a secret or anything, but they look really good too.
Hey. And I love the pillows too.
Yeah, plush pillows. They're very firm. And we should be getting a name resolving on our screen here. It always feels like that scene in Willy Wonka or Charlie and
there's
the
the
Chocolate
name.
Factory.
Is that the winner?
Oh yeah, Agnes
Yay, Agnes.
Schmott.
Congrats.
Yes, congratulations, Agnes. You are the newest owner of this XD. It is an XD bag. It's cool. They've got the like wireframe
That's
things
very,
here.
Very creative.
Very
I love
inventive. So congratulations. Thanks everybody for participating in
That.
that.
Congrats, Agnes.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna get back into the design game.
Cool. So I finished the tutorial screens, and now I'm gonna go to the homepage. I think I'll start a new line.
Yeah, it gets big pretty quickly.
Yeah. Not really any rhyme or reason yet, just trying to keep things organized.
Yeah.
Homepage. And gonna do the date.
We had some questions before that chat and win, but so many people chatted that I'm having a hard time finding
We
it.
lost them. That's okay.
But thanks for sharing information about the Adobe Creative Residency. By the way, if
Yeah.
anybody wants to learn more about the Adobe Creative Residency, of which Andrea is a part, you can go to adobe.com/creative residency.
Yeah.
Yes.
Got
And you'll
little
see
bios and all of us.
you said there are 7 this year from around the world. Always a great opportunity. Oh yeah, we've got it pulled up here. And number 1 on the list, Andrea Hock from St. Louis,
Number
Missouri.
1. I was really surprised to see that when they put me on the first slot there.
It must be alphabetical, right?
Maybe.
Oh yeah.
Yes, it is.
The benefit.
No, because Aaron is AA.
Oh yeah, you're right. That sort of
I'm
like
just
transcends the
special.
alphabet. All right. Do the creative residents ever collaborate with other residents?
It's not like a requirement or anything, but actually Aaron and Isabel are going to be doing a project together. coming up soon. Actually, I think they're requesting that people like submit ideas to them, so check out their Instagrams for more information. I'm not sure exactly what they're doing, but yeah, like whenever we get in town together, like everyone flew out to San Francisco last week, and I try to, hang out with them as much as possible. And I made a vlog on that, so check out my YouTube channel.
All right. Wow, I just downloaded one of these XD UI kits.
It's huge.
It's massive.
It's really nice that they have that.
Oh yeah, incredible. Yeah, if you're not familiar, if you're in XD right now, go to the File menu and select Get UI Kits and choose wireframes or more UI kits. Some of these are really amazing if you want to start a messaging app, need search features or a news feed or a sign-up page. There's tons of great ideas to get you started. You just kind of drag and drop what you need, change the colors, add some fun to it. Really good stuff. Cool. So this is the filter, what do they call that thing? Dragger? Like a handle?
The menu?
Yeah, this sort of like swipes up from the bottom, right?
Yes. Yeah, so this you'll swipe up with your thumb and this will give you the menu. Actually, I'm gonna do, since this is an overlay, I'll do this one separate because they have a new overlay feature, which is amazing. So I'm just adding the menu options here.
Cool. And you said this was an overlay feature?
Yeah.
Okay.
So instead of having to create a new artboard and making everything on top of it, when you go into prototype mode, you can just select this and it will automatically go on top.
Sweet.
One thing I really love about XD is just that it has these guides, like the pink guides. So nice.
The alignment, they're amazing, yeah. I have to admit, it actually makes it harder to go back into my, first favorite apps, the things that I started using, like Photoshop and Illustrator, because I sort of expect the same, default behavior.
Right.
Yeah, I think second best for me, InDesign also has an incredible set of guides that's just sort of on by default for aligning text especially, which I like a lot, but XD certainly is doing it really well.
Definitely.
Jeff is asking when you started learning UX.
Okay, so I actually went to school for just a general visual communications, which they didn't really teach us anything about UX, but I really learned most of it at my first job. So I had an internship at HP when I first started, and then I joined as a full-time VX designer, and that's pretty much where I learned everything. Just being thrown in there, and I think a key thing is having a good mentor, or finding several mentors, and just kind of studying what they do, and then once you get the basics down, you can get your own path and decide what your own style is.
Right.
But that really helped a lot.
Yeah, it's amazing. There's, so many design resources out there, and there's a lot of great literature and help and sort of, tutorials and thinking on the internet and everything. But I think it really does still come. I don't know about you, but for me, the fastest way to sort of learn something is just to absorb it, and especially by just kind of watching someone else work.
Right. Definitely.
Yeah, which I guess is a great thing about these live streams too, is if you can sort of pick up something that you see somebody else do. I've adopted so many of my efficiency hacks, just seeing somebody else, and I'm like, wow,
that's awesome.
Yeah, save a lot of time.
Totally.
So Emerson's asking how much time you have left in the residency. It should be until next May or April, right? A full year.
Yes.
So only a few months into it.
Yeah.
Or do you say already a few months into it? Time moving fast, slow?
I feel like already.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, it just goes so fast.
So fast.
And I think a lot of like why it feels so fast is we travel a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So then it's like, I don't have time to actually work on my project, you know? Let's see. So on this page, I am showing today's sorted mail. Get rid of those.
Now, is this sort of what you'd imagine, like the main page of the experience? Like once signed in, once onboarded and everything, is this your like today view, your news feed, or is this another
I
something
think
else?
this will maybe be the home page.
Okay.
So this is just a general overview,
Yep.
and then we'll have like a little mailbox illustration saying like, hey, you have some new letters. And then maybe when you click into one of these, then you'll get like more detailed view about like what mail you got, what spam you got. And also I'm adding a feature that you can, if something was incorrectly labeled like spam or important, then you can change it before it gets recycled.
Right.
Because that'd be bad.
Before it's gone forever.
Right. Just putting in some sample items and using that repeat grid again.
Super
The
helpful.
best.
Just a reminder for everybody, if you're participating in the daily challenge, we'll review the work in a little over 45 minutes. Super good opportunity to get, sort of opinions, a little bit of critique, or just share your work with everybody else who's going live on stream. And there's information about what we're talking about, and also how to submit in the daily challenge tab, which is to the right of the chat tab.
I actually forgot that I pulled up this, so I think I might use a few icons from this, one of the free, is this the Adobe XD one? One of the free wireframe kits.
Yeah. And A. Cyan in the chat was asking where we can get this wireframe. So just so everybody knows, a lot of these wireframes are available in the File menu inside of XD. You can get UI kits for different platforms, and like Apple's iOS, which is kind of what we're using here. Google Material Design, Microsoft Windows platform, and then a bunch of extra wireframes and UI kits are available there as well, which is where this phone sort of like layout came from. Also the icons that Andrea just showed that we'll be using a little later.
And real quick, one thing that I learned with this, the repeat grid, so I had to, sometimes things get cut off, so like, let me show this again. If I click repeat grid and then I start dragging down, you'll notice like that this first one is a little thinner. So if you just double click and then just move it down with your keypad, it'll help.
Oh, that's interesting. It's like maybe a 2-point stroke, and the
Yeah.
top half of it is
I don't know
outside
why it
the
does that, but
grid.
it's an easy fix.
Yeah.
It's okay.
We've got a whole like thread in the chat happening about Chiang Mai, I think is what I saw. A lot of creative people there, cheap living, great opportunities to start a business and travel. Very cool. Kind of making me dream of the beach or vacation.
Oh gosh, I haven't been on vacation in so long.
Uh-huh.
Just using the newly added stroke options to make an icon here.
All right.
And let's see if it'll work with repeat grid down. Yes, it does. Okay.
Oh, there we got the same kind
Yeah.
of like alignment issue. But super cool. So you just created like a basically a dashed stroke
instead
made
of like,
dots.
I mean, you could do it other ways with just like making the circles, but
Right.
I feel like this is a little easier.
Very cool.
And then, so like this one, oops, I think, let's say the Chipotle coupon you do want to keep, so I'm gonna add a button to be able to move it to important if you change your mind.
And what could be more important?
Exactly.
That's great.
Right up there with wedding invitation.
Uh-huh. Well,
The
yeah.
important things in life.
Right.
So yeah, keeping it pretty raw with these,
Well,
not adding a lot of visuals.
Yeah,
yet.
and I was just about to say though, this seems like the most important work. Obviously, is sort of what you need to be in there, what the flow is, and then of course that leaves the opportunity at a certain point to just get purely creative
Exactly.
with it, right? To just have
Exactly.
so much fun styling because you're no longer solving
Right.
organizational, layout, or user flow problems.
And we'll lock this. Keeps getting in the way. Actually, I'll get rid of that.
Val is asking, says you have a lot of unique apps in your portfolio on Behance and Dribbble. You have a favorite app concept? One that's more fun, more interesting,
I'm trying to remember them all.
bigger
now.
challenge.
I think visually, I like the brighter ones. Like the yoga mat one is one of my favorites. So that one is an automated app that works with, like, again, conceptual, your yoga mat, and it'll tell you like what poses to be in based on, you know, where your feet are, and the pressure sensitivity in the mat.
Wow.
But I think if I'm going more like realistic, I like the Bluetooth enabled sunglasses, because that's like something
that's the
you
sun
could,
exposure one.
yeah. You could use that with like older folks who maybe don't know when they've been outside too long, or babies. I don't know if babies wear sunglasses really, but
They should.
that would be helpful.
Or perhaps if you're going to vacation in Chiang Mai or something, and you're not used to like a different level of
Yes.
sun exposure from where
Yeah.
you're from. Nils Peterson says your portfolio looks amazing.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. So if anybody else has answers for Andrea about XD, about design, be sure to ask them in the chat. We'll take some time in a little bit to answer a few more. Get some nice complex questions.
So this page is the history, the mail history, so you can go back and see what you got on certain days.
Helpful for bills, I
Yeah.
imagine. Right? So already we've gotten 2 daily creative challenge submissions so far, which is exciting.
Yay.
Hoping for a few more. We'll take a look at those in 38 minutes. Very specific.
So fun fact, this is my first live stream. Well, second, I guess, but my first like 2-hour one. So it's very exciting.
How does it feel so far?
Feels great.
We're like an hour in. We're halfway
Oh wow,
through.
already an hour?
Yeah.
Wow. This is fun.
Yeah.
It's crazy. No, it's fun. When did Behance start doing that?
Well, live streaming has had a little bit of a storied career. I think it started at Adobe on Twitch first as a
really?
platform, and then
Interesting, huh.
eventually moved to like YouTube, Behance.
Okay.
But it's got to have been over a year at this point,
That's so cool.
almost certainly. And I know the show gets taken on the road as well, like 99U,
Oh yeah.
Adobe Max
Mhm.
last year, coming up this year, which is really great. There's a ton of gear that needs to come as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in this lab.
Thank you for the questions, everybody. I'm documenting them just so we can sort of take them all at once, and we'll do that in a few minutes, I think.
So this part will just be kind of like a preview of your week, and then you can pull that down to see more of your calendar.
It's amazing to see how quickly you're working on this. A few of these, like a ton of repeat grids and
Yeah.
keyboard shortcut wizardry. Adrian's asking if the daily challenges are different every day. Yes, they are. Which is always exciting. There's like, we're on, I think this is day 6 of the daily challenge. So
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
The prior challenges, I'm just gonna pull them up. Creating a mobile app to make polls, a crowdfunding mobile app, a video conference mobile app, shared transportation rental, ordering flowers, and then today is sending cash. And there's gonna be 3 more tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday. And so I think that's really cool. I mean, just, you could imagine at the end of, this is just 9 days, you know, have an entire, either 9 portfolio pieces or one whole
Yeah.
thing to showcase all your experiments. Abraham says, you are incredibly quick, well done, admirable focus.
Oh, thank you.
Especially because we're fielding questions left and right, like lots of asides and other commentary.
Yeah. So on this page, this is the, label this, the open history, the mailbox open history. So you can see who opened your mailbox and when, if, I mean,
Interesting.
I don't know why you would
Yeah,
need to know
yeah.
that, but just in case, if you have an intruder.
It's almost like another way of seeing, I suppose you put the little flag up when you have outgoing mail, speaking from a US perspective. And then when that's down, you can kind of know that maybe the mail person has come to take the mail and perhaps deliver. But now you don't even have to go outside.
You never have to leave your house.
Right.
The goal of all of this.
Automated lifestyle.
Yes. Do you have any automated devices?
Do I?
Yeah.
I do not.
Oh man.
I
You
know.
gotta get on the ball.
I think in my apartment there used to be a dog bowl that
Oh,
I don't even think it
that's
was
cool.
automated though. I think it just like
What?
maybe a person had to come open it, but
Oh, that's not
no,
automated.
it's not. It was like a very low tech, non-automation automation. No, my Internet of Things is my computer and my phone, and I still have like an analog watch.
Old school.
Yeah, maybe slow
like
to
it.
slow to adopt.
That's okay. You're immersing yourself right now, so.
That's right, in the present moment. Val says she used automation for her coffee maker, so she wakes up to coffee. Curious, Val,
That's
does the
nice.
coffee smell wake you up, or do you wake up and like then realize that the coffee's there and get a big smile?
Yeah.
We'd also like to know who else uses automation in their life right now.
Oh, speaking of the coffee maker, okay, have you ever seen that Office episode where he has the little George Foreman grill? Do you watch The Office?
I'm so late to the game, but I've just finished 5 seasons like last week.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dang.
I'm finally on. I know what everyone's talking about.
Okay. Well, this is
So
perfect
yeah,
timing.
it's the George Foreman.
Wow. Yeah, the George Foreman grill. And he's like, I like to wake up to the smell of bacon every day.
And then
And then he burns his foot.
Yeah, he has a mishap with his foot.
Yeah. Such a great show.
Abraham, thank you. He says, I'll have the last laugh when the grid goes down. I assume he means the global power grid. Which would be a surprising day. I'm not sure if we'll get
Yeah.
into it here, but yeah. But yeah, I'm curious what the automated and Internet of Things world is, like the state of it at this point. I mean, I'm not living under a rock or anything, but I just sort of,
No, I think it's growing.
you almost can't keep up,
exponentially. Yeah.
I think.
People are always coming up with new things. And I always want to buy them, but I don't have the money for that.
One of these just needs to take off and become,
Yeah.
viral.
No, I try to test them out as much as I can, though, especially for my residency.
Mm-hmm.
In my apartment, I have a Nest, so I did a review of that on my YouTube channel, and I use that for just like, that's the thermostat,
Yeah.
and I use that when I'm just like lazy and laying in bed and I want to
Oh, right,
change
'cause
it
you
at
can do
night.
it from your phone, right? Yeah.
That's like
It's
the
just
main use
connected
case,
via
I feel
Wi-Fi,
like.
right, yeah. I guess there is one of those in my apartment too, and I think
Yeah.
the usability of the
Okay.
actual dial itself is interesting. It's so
Yeah.
kind of simple. There's a lot of constraints to work with for that user experience,
Right.
but
The only thing that's annoying, I think, is the keyboard.
yeah.
Because, like, when you have to enter your Wi-Fi password, you have to go, like, A, B, C, which is, like,
It's like an old rotary
Yeah.
telephone, except you have to do an alphanumeric, like
Right.
24 complex character thing.
And I have the Amazon Dot, which I actually don't use that much. Like, I use it for music sometimes, but I don't know. It's cool to have.
Is that their, like, AI voice thing, or is that, okay.
Yeah, it's like the simplest one, I guess, but it's just in the wall, and you can ask it things like the weather and everything.
Oh
But
my gosh, I'm behind. All right, we got 30 minutes left until we'll be taking a look at the XD daily challenges for today.
can't wait to see
Yeah.
what you guys are making.
It's gonna be awesome. Just give our thoughts and suggestions and revere the work that the community's doing. And Andrea, you let me know. We have a few questions.
yeah.
Is now a good time?
Totally.
Okay. So I didn't write down.
Oh, I better save.
Yeah.
Wow, I haven't saved yet.
That's my favorite part about these streams. I've gotten to like the end of like almost
anyone
every
lose
day.
their-
Nobody's lost
that's
anything,
good.
thank goodness. But sometimes when I notice, I'm like, how do I put this? Should we save? Maybe that should be like, we should have like a secret prize every now and then for the first person in chat to catch like a,
Oh, I like that.
a project that's been going on for an hour and
Yeah.
hasn't been saved. The save patrol.
Yes.
Not calling it a thing yet, but it might be a thing. Okay. I did not write down the owners of these questions, so thank you everybody for submitting. We'll just kind of rapid fire them. What other software do you use alongside XD? Have no clue if this means in a design workflow or like favorite apps you use.
Definitely like pretty much all of the Creative Cloud. So like Illustrator, I use Premiere for my videos, Photoshop obviously all the time, After Effects sometimes for videos, or like I mentioned for the, if I want to do like a nice mock-up of my prototype. Those are mostly the ones I use from Creative Cloud. Oh, and on iPad I use like Photoshop Elements, just for like sketching,
Right.
making wireframes if I don't have a, paper around. But like, are they asking about other apps too, or?
Maybe, yeah. Do you have any like favorite, I don't know, productivity or entertainment or like just surprising?
Productivity for sure. I always use Pomodoro. So, that's not it. I usually have it up here. But so Pomodoro is just like where you work in increments of 25 minutes and then you have a break for 5 minutes and then like 15 minutes. Changed my life.
I can imagine.
It's
yeah.
really helpful. But I mean, different people work differently. Some people like to work in long spans of work, like an hour, and then take a bigger break. But
I think it's always helpful though if you start to feel like your eyes burning or like you haven't blinked them for a while.
Right.
It's like maybe we should take a break from the
Right.
screen.
And I also have one for that if your eyes are burning. So it's called f.lux, and it can change the color of your
right.
screen based on like what time of day it is. So like at night it's more orangey tints, and it's supposed to help your eyes.
Right, alleviate that like blue light. Cool. How did you create the animation for the logo on your website?
That was in After Effects. Actually, Illustrator and After Effects. So I just used the pen tool to make the letters in Illustrator, and then you export that into After Effects. I think it was, I don't remember the exact. It's like the follow the pen line.
Right,
I
it
don't
follows the
remember.
stroke and kind of
Right.
reveals it, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's great. It's like a nice
Thank you.
interactive touch.
Keeping it simple.
Yeah. How far do you go into the UX rabbit hole? Research, user flow maps?
So I don't really have too much experience with research, which was really nice with the residency, that I got to do kind of a mini internship with one of the design researchers here. So I was like out here for a week towards the beginning of my residency and was like learning all the tips and tricks and best practices and things
Right.
from her. So that was nice. So yeah, not too much research, but I'm learning. And yeah, UX and VX I do all the time. Just depends like if I'm on a team and what the designer's other bandwidth is.
And can you elaborate on sort of the distinctions between what you mean when you say UX and VX?
Yeah, actually it was funny because at Adobe, like a lot of people haven't heard the term VX. I guess normally it's just generally under like UX or UI.
Right.
But UX is user experience, so to me that's more like the wireframes and thinking about an app like holistically, like really being the advocate for the user, and like how you get from point A to point B. So like user flows, personas, all those kinds of things. And then the VX is more like the visual experience, so adding like the illustrations and the typography, like what kind of fonts you're using, and all the iconography. So more like the front-facing kind of
Right.
things.
Interesting. Okay. And then, well, we maybe kind of covered this earlier with regards to how you started getting into UX, but do you have recommendations for where people start if they're interested in UX design, either resources or, advice, like just general, how you pursue that?
I think just like getting an internship or a job, like throwing yourself in there and trying to like learn from other designers. Yeah, you can join like AIGA, or like if your area has like design networking groups, just trying to talk with as many other designers and people as you can. But like you said, there's so many resources out there. Like YouTube, you know.
It's kind of amazing, like
Yeah.
with the right sort of, I don't know, set of filters and determination, I feel like you could go on YouTube and almost get
Yeah.
like higher education.
No, yeah.
I mean,
Like I actually
it's
know
kind of-
quite a few people that didn't go to school for UX, and that's what they're doing now, which is
Yeah.
crazy.
Cool. Well, thanks everybody for the questions.
Yeah.
We've got like 23 minutes, so if we want to get back into it.
Cool.
I did see a funny comment that regarding automation
Yeah.
would be automating the save
Oh,
command.
yeah.
Which I know actually is in, I think, like Photoshop and Illustrator now, the autosave. Super helpful. There's nothing more
Terrible
scary
than
and tragic.
losing, like
and
hours of work.
yeah.
Yes, that's a good idea. I'll have to suggest that to
Right.
the XD team.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we could put it in the product feature requests
Yeah.
and see it rise to the top.
Because I actually have, so as part of the residency, we get mentors. We get an internal and an external mentor, and one of my internal mentors is one of the designers on the XD team. So I get like direct
Little,
access.
yeah, like a little ear in.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, and if anybody does have feature requests, maybe we could put this in the chat. It's kind of a long URL, but there is a feature request forum where you can sort of upvote the most popular ideas. And currently, the top idea has 4,200 votes, which is to animate individual elements separately. So, you know, that might need some further clarity, but what's really interesting is XD and the team is they're really using this sort of user's voice as kind of a method for generating the next update, like what is going to come there. So if you've got a really great idea, productivity enhancement, or just something that's been needing to be created forever, put it there and it might get voted and built into a release. There's so much here. This will end up becoming,
Wow.
yeah.
That's so great that they have that. So on this page, I'm making the spam threshold. So you can choose like how much you want to keep and how much you want to save as far as your mail.
It's gonna be like a visual index, like the most
Yeah.
noisy looking thing is probably generally a piece of spam.
And we're just imagining that this app is like AI, that it can kind of learn based on what you tell it is spam or important. So it'll like get smarter as it goes.
This is great. This looks like it's gonna be kind of a fun experience once it's all
Yeah.
kind of done up. Gestural.
So then here I'm just adding options for what the mailbox should do if it's not sure about the letters. So the options are put it in important, put it in spam, or put it in not sure.
And not sure is where you'd actually go out there and then make your
You have to
determination.
do it yourself, yeah.
Nils asks an interesting question about difference in file size between XD and Photoshop and Illustrator. Like, obviously he's suggesting Photoshop files can become really big really quickly. I'm curious about that. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I'm
see
not
if I
sure.
can check. I know I have some big XD files and I know I have plenty of big Photoshop files, so let's see. Arthur I says, help me, Adobe One Kenobi. Why is it so hard to get a UX and UI job? It's a pretty saturated kind of like thing now,
Yeah.
right? Like everyone's kind of vying for it. Just go on
Definitely.
Dribble's homepage and kind of see like how much work is out there.
Mm-hmm.
And that can make it hard to cut through, I imagine.
Yeah.
I'm no expert on the hiring
No, definitely.
prospects for UX or UI, but it is very popular kind of industry now. It's
is.
kind of coming to the forefront for a lot of businesses, even those that aren't traditionally design centered.
I mean, personally, I think a huge part is just like having a website. Why isn't this? Having a website, having a really well built out portfolio, because that's the first thing that employers will look at.
Yeah, I think there's certainly something to be learned from like looking at your Behance and Dribble and websites. Like there's a really nice consistency between all those platforms. Certainly.
Like have your work on a variety of websites for sure.
Yeah, and especially with the Dribble, like it's all just, I mean, it's clear that you kind of like have the look and you know your stuff, and it's presented really
right.
beautifully, and that like goes such a long way, obviously.
Presentation is super important. And then like if you have a big project that you've worked on, I like to do like a case study for it. So like make a whole write-up of like all the steps that you took. So like show the research, show the whole process. And I think employers like to see that.
Yeah, as opposed to just the kind of visual outcome. Right. Yeah.
Because like Dribble is good, but they also like to see like how you got there.
Right. This is cool. It's inspired like quite a bit of chat. Regarding how to share work. Cool, good questions. Keep them coming. And just a reminder, we're like 15 minutes away from reviewing the daily challenge work. We don't have that many so far, which means that I'm hoping that means that everybody's kind of like furiously like working on them, building out the experience. But the ones that we do have look really great, so I think this is going to be kind of fun to review here in about 15 minutes.
I remember it was an Adobe Create Magazine contest like a few years ago, and I remember like kind of watching what everyone else was doing because you could win a MacBook or something.
Oh,
so I was
wow.
really excited about
Wow.
it. And then like everyone submitted on the very last day. So maybe that's everyone's tactic here.
Wait until graphics, gradients, and typekit fonts come into XD and watch what happens to the file size there. I imagine that's going to be, yeah. Yep, Nils, I know the feeling. 400 megabyte files in Photoshop. It's crazy. I recently just had to open a 4 gigabyte file. This was like a very, very large format print.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Ooh, wow,
like
dang.
on the order of like, I think over 20 feet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I had to
Wow.
like mount and boot Photoshop from an external drive.
Oh, really?
Just to like get enough startup space to open this. It was quite a
my
process, so yeah,
gosh.
the Photoshop files can get huge.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if that might not even be recommended to boot from an external drive, but I simply didn't have enough space
Gotta do it.
for just opening that project.
Man, I've had some big ones, but I don't think I've ever had any that big.
It was Yeah, and
The
certain
video files get big.
Oh yeah,
but-
huge, right? Yeah. And file management with them too, like keeping all your assets and linked files and source. It's can get a lot.
Definitely.
Cool. This is looking great and like really built out.
Yeah, thank you.
What's our like overall picture of this whole XD world?
Yeah.
We're like 3 rows in, right?
So the first line is more of like our onboarding. So we've got the login screen. You fill in your username and password. And then we've got the onboarding tutorial. So you go through the welcome screen. And then we've got all these illustrations that I'll add in. So we're focusing on no more spam, going green so your spam is recycled. Your mailbox is secure so you can add a pin. And you can also get notifications when you get certain mail. And then this is the home page, so just giving you a quick overview of what letters you have. So you've got like 4 important ones and 3 spam ones. And then we're gonna have mailbox illustration down here. And then when you swipe up here, that'll be the menu. So this is just an overlay. And then the options here, you can see today's mail, your history of all the mail you've gotten, if your mailbox has been opened and what the history of that is, and then all of our other settings. So this is today's mail. You can see all the important ones versus your spam ones. And then this is our sorted mail history. So up here we've got a little calendar, and you can pull that down to see, the rest of the days of the month. Click on any of those, and then so like today's Friday, and again you can see your spam versus your important mail. And this is your open history, so you can see who's viewed it and when and for how long. Again, I don't know. I'm getting very
You
granular
get like
here.
a message. It's like your mailbox was open for 10 minutes.
Right.
You're like, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Bit creepy maybe, but. And then your settings. So we've got your sorting options. You can set your spam options and your keep options. Your privacy, set your PIN, and then other notifications. And then down here, I'm just building out the settings screen. So again, this is the sorting one. You can choose the threshold of how much spam you want to try to keep. And then this is the spam mail settings. So just choosing like, helping it get a little bit started, it will learn, but choosing flyers, restaurant flyers, bills, probably not bills for spam. And, if you want to keep it or recycle it, keep it for 5 days. And then this one will be important mail. So just building it out still.
Very cool. Well, it's an awesome amount of work to see like just done in, the last hour and a half really.
Trying to work fast.
Yeah. Sarah Burns. Andrea, I just saw your website. On your website, you went to Truman. I was a VisCom major there too. Go
Oh.
Bulldogs.
Wow, what year? Go Bulldogs. Love it. Wow, it's such a small world.
I
It's
know,
crazy.
Yeah. Actually, there's a large portion of my team here. My creative director actually is from St. Louis, and there
Oh,
was
really?
2 other designers and an illustrator on the team from St. Louis as well.
Really?
It seems to be like
Wow, that's
a
weird.
little Midwestern hub.
I only know a few people that moved out here, but Adobe's where it's at, I guess.
Darren appreciates the fact that you make simple designs first and create good wireframes of the idea. Truly create good wireframe of the idea.
Thank you.
So good process here. And perhaps he's from Missouri because he also says woo Missouri. Missouri.
Or he just loves Missouri.
Right. Yeah. Sarah graduated in 2016
Okay.
and heard they just changed it to a design major, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and actually my alma mater did the same thing.
Really?
Like, yeah, it was a design with a capital D degree, which is very
Really?
conceptual, and like the technical
Okay.
skills were like some were learned in courses and a lot were just learned from other students.
Yeah.
But I think they've embraced kind of a different philosophy and renamed
Right.
the school. It's like a design and tech or something. So design is changing fast.
Man, I feel so old already. Jeez.
Yeah. Adrian Mendez, what time does the daily challenge start? So on the West Coast USA time zone, Pacific time zone, it starts at 8:30 in the morning, and it runs all day. So you can kind of go. I know they'll be doing like a 30-minute stream tomorrow morning at 8:30 to go over the daily challenge. And we don't know what tomorrow's topic is going to be. It's a mystery
Ooh,
until then.
surprise.
So yeah. All right, here's an important screen.
Mm-hmm.
Privacy. Hot topic these days.
Yes. So, I'm assuming that this app would only read the outside of the mail and not the inside, because that would be like, I'm sure, against some federal laws.
Right. Yeah, this is kind of always an interesting part of any project, but I mean, certain projects more so than others is like additional considerations you have to make, like ethical decisions
Right,
in
right.
design. It's great to see that you're considering those right here too, as part of this experience.
And it's interesting that designers now are kind of getting more of a say in that whole like privacy, the privacy issues.
Yeah. We're like 5 minutes away from the challenge, and so Val is asking that we hype the challenge. So if you're in chat and you want to hype the challenge, maybe cheer on your fellow chat companions who are working on the final touches before they submit to us.
How many do we have now?
We have 3.
3.
Yeah. But one of them is sort of it's all the challenges since the beginning kind of built into one, so we can kind of like review that,
Gotcha.
all that work. Yeah, so if anybody's sort of still working on their challenge, we got 5 minutes left. Just go ahead and submit it. Give us a link to the XD document, or perhaps you posted it to Behance and share that. We'll take a look at both, kind of go through the experience.
I always like to try to reuse icons if I can. It's such a time saver. Can't find one here.
Which one are you looking for?
Just like the drop down arrow, but that's an easy one.
Nice, super quick. Some people who can't participate because they're working.
Oh.
Probably good.
Yeah, I guess.
You know, gotta draw the
So
boundaries.
it is like a
somewhere.
Tuesday in the middle of the day.
Right.
But I appreciate that they're listening.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of curious, like, what time of day it is for everybody who's with us in chat right now. We've got 1,245 viewers. Not to put any
Wow.
pressure on, but yeah, that's a
lot.
really good
Awesome.
audience. And so hopefully we can get like 1,000 responses right now. What time it is, where you're watching, and perhaps what other responsibilities you have at this moment, because we're glad that you're here
Yes.
learning and participating. 4:25 in Thailand, 10:30 at night in London, 5:30 on the East Coast. All right, 11:25 p.m. in Serbia.
Wow. Late over there.
Someone's using International Standard Time. Oh, India Standard Time, sorry. I was wondering who was tuning in from the space station.
Hey, this is an important live stream.
Yeah,
I'm sure
we
they
do have
are.
astronaut helmets in the back. It's evening in Brazil. People working in San Diego. It's late in Berlin. No responsibilities apart from eating cake. Please share. Please share what flavor cake you're eating.
I could go for some of that right now.
Yeah. Rob, 5 p.m. and drawing. I don't know what hour are you not drawing, Rob? We know you. Working and listening. Always cool. Sweet.
I do like to multitask when I'm designing a lot. Like I'll listen to podcasts, or do you do that? Do other things?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
listening to music always, but
Music gets me going. I don't. Sometimes podcasts. It depends on the type of work I'm doing.
Yeah.
Like if I have to if I was writing things
yeah,
in here, it'd probably
copy that'd be too much. I can't do that.
This is peculiar. It's 8:25 p.m. in Frankfurt, Germany, and 11:35 p.m. in Paris. So it's in the future in Paris.
Does that-
Just kidding. Costa Rica. All right.
Ooh.
That sounds nice. Kansas City, Missouri. That's where Darren's from. That's the real Kansas City, right? When
What do you-
people
what do
say
you mean?
Kansas City but don't say a state, they mean Missouri.
Oh.
Because there's a Kansas City, Kansas, right?
Yes,
but
there's
that's like
both.
the
It's confusing.
smaller
Yeah.
of the two. All right, 2-minute warning for the daily challenge. I just love how the clock goes red. It's like
Warning!
meltdown. All right, hey, this is cool. We've doubled the amount of entries in the last 5 minutes.
See,
now
I
we have
told you.
6. Yes.
That was their tactic. They're
That's
keeping it till
right.
the end. That's probably what I would do too.
Well, cool. I'm going to make sure I have all these pulled up. And in a few minutes, we will be taking a look at them, which is great. Be sure to get your submissions in.
Wow, this is perfect because I have one more screen left.
All right.
Yeah. Good timing.
That's, yeah, +1 for planning.
Yeah.
I'm really amazed at how some of these XD experiences that people are sharing are like integrated in their Behance portfolios already, and they feel
Wow.
really like seamless, and they're all wired up. It's awesome.
That's awesome. You guys are fast.
Yeah. All right, thank you, Kiara. I updated your link, so we should be looking at the latest one. And the submissions are now due. Did we squeeze any more in? Not yet, but looking good so far. We've got 6 to take a look at.
Yay.
Jeff's asking what your favorite font to use is. It's always a fun question.
Oh gosh, I have so many right now. Gesta, Source Sand Pro, which I'm using right now. Let's see. Maybe I can go to Typekit and see what I have downloaded recently. Typekit. just typekit.com.
Mm-hmm.
Synced fonts. I'm always at like the max because with the residency we get, like the Creative Cloud free for life actually, which is amazing.
Oh, sweet.
And then like typekit fonts.
Yeah.
So Our Next, Active, Grotesque, Bresse, Como's a good one. Future is a classic.
Classic.
Comet. All of these are my faves.
Yeah, I like Sophia.
Some good ones.
This is great. I like that you're at 101. Like, you're like 1 over the limit.
Yeah.
It's like, well, we can allow it. Very cool. All right. So,
Yep,
how do you-
we're at a
how do you
good
feel?
saving space.
Yeah, is this good?
Mm-hmm.
All right, we'll save.
All right.
And look at that.
We're good.
I
We
just-
got 3 rows.
Yeah, that's incredible. I would just like
Yeah.
to commend you on like the amount of information and kind of like user
Thank
flow
you.
there. That's awesome.
Yeah, hopefully this has been helpful for you guys.
Yeah, no, it's good. We had a lot of questions like about process, like with the research and like starting with sketches and how much time. I saw one recently, like how much time, between a briefing and sketch, and I think this is like some of the more illuminating stuff that we don't really see. It's really easy to
Right.
go on Dribbble or Behance or whatever and see finished
you
work.
just see the end result.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, speaking of finished work, we're gonna take a look at some of these submissions. We have 6 up here, and I'm just gonna start in the order that I received them, and I'll try and make this full screen.
So are we choosing one?
We're not gonna choose one today.
Okay.
We're just gonna give some
Gotcha.
feedback and
Okay.
our thoughts and kind of go through
I
it.
love that illustration. That's so cute.
Yeah.
A little button.
I'm also gonna let you be in the driver's seat
Okay.
if you want. I know a lot of
Yeah.
these experiences are sort of wired up, so we can just
Yeah.
see how it flows.
Let's go. Send request. These are big buttons, man. How much? Let's see. Okay, 36 euros.
That's what you owe.
I like it.
Or maybe
Very
you requested
easy.
that, yeah.
Okay. And again, nice icon there. Out to who? Oh, that's interesting. I always appreciate when people are doing like different interactions. How do you want to pay? Confirm. That is so nice. I love that. Wow, that's a lot of screens for a short amount of time, I gotta say.
Totally, and this was the first one we got, so I think this
Yeah.
was like ready for us, earlier in the stream.
I love it. The only screen I would say, just like the buttons, they're pretty big on this one, but the rest of it, I love it.
It reminds me of like the Amazon like one-touch order buttons, where you're like, these are the only 2 things
Right.
we ever need on this screen.
Right, you wouldn't get confused, so that's
Yeah.
good.
I do think kind of interesting. I saw like a color palette sort of emerge with this green and kind of orangish, yellowish color, which is always good to see. Like in addition to the experience, which is enough, that's like a lot to design and think about already. As you sort of also starting to build this brand, Beam, and there's like a touch of playfulness both in that overlay that you liked.
Yeah.
And some of the language, the copy in there was kind of fun. Like, are you ready? And there's an airplane.
Right. Yeah, the playful language.
Yeah. I'm surprised that you also clicked on like the right name that this was going to go to.
Yeah. Not that time. Let's see if we can do a different one. I think I clicked on QR code. And I like that you have different options here too. That's nice. This part confuses me a little though. The plane, maybe, I don't know, some other kind of illustration that would depict like money.
Money flying.
Yeah, money flying.
Maybe like a dollar bill folded into a paper plane.
Yeah. It's very clear, like the copy is all, front and center. I think the hierarchy is good, like you're focusing on the text first and then the button second. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah,
Very
it's
nice.
always kind of like that process of sending money is always one that you don't want to be like
Yes.
confused about where you are or what's
Right,
happening
right.
at any given time.
Definitely.
So Eric submitted.
Great job. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Kiara. So this is Eric's submission. I don't see the money one on here, but it's great because we can take a look at some of these prior challenges and maybe we like want to choose one to focus on. We kind of like quickly flowed through the list, so we might be able to just pick one that seems most obvious to us. But again, I'll let you drive or just if we want to comment on kind of the overall experience, because this is kind of an interesting presentation.
So he did one all 7 days or all 9 days.
I think this is like and correct us if we're wrong, Eric, he's still at work. This is like your one Behance project to show all the challenges that you're engaged in.
Gotcha.
As a total project.
That's awesome. Such a go-getter.
Yeah, seriously.
So video conferencing. I like the blurred background. Very nice. Very minimalistic. I love minimalistic interfaces. Looks great. The time is a little small to see over here. I don't know. I guess that's not super important though when you're video calling, but. So this, I guess, is on your like iPad or web, I would say. Okay, so I've got a bunch of different layouts with more people. Very nice. So this was a transportation rental.
Cool. So renting some bikes.
Very cool. Again, minimalistic. I love it.
Yeah, it's got
Focusing on the bike itself rather than all the other interface features.
Yeah, pretty sophisticated too. It's like feels like, you know, this is a service that would maybe kind of like stand above the rest, like, you know, assuming it's just as functional too, that it's like got some good design considerations.
So it tells you the model, the battery level. Yeah, you were thinking about like all the different functionality. Nice, you can see where it is. Oh, and you've got the thumb reader. That's a nice touch.
Super cool.
Yeah. Oh, is this a video? Wow.
Oh
my
Eric.
gosh, I'm so blown away. Wait, what was it? Oh, order flowers. Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, interesting integration with like the products, which are the thumbnails with the prices, and just some sort of like supporting imagery. I'm not sure you see that quite often.
Yeah. Very cool. Okay.
Cool.
So we've got those three. We've got the flower one.
Yeah, and if anybody's interested, it sounds like Eric's going to be posting the Money app and then the following two challenges, completing the set and putting it all here, which is great. This is like a nice integrated presentation.
Definitely.
Always good to see on Behance. So thank you, Eric. Okay. I think this let's update it just to see if it was updated. It looks like it's just a single image.
Okay. Cool. So this is all of your different cards up here. You've got your balance, who to send the money to, and then your transaction history. Very nice. I think the hierarchy makes sense. You know, you want to see your cards up here first thing. And I guess this is when you click on... Oh, okay. So you click on here, and this is who you're going to send it to, how much you're sending, the method, and a note. Very simple and straight to the point. I like it.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even notice down here. Okay, so this, I guess, is...
Maybe like a deeper look at your accounts or wallet.
Yeah. Oh, and this, I guess, is the send money.
Yeah.
So maybe he's swiped up there. That's cute. I like that.
Yeah.
Nice icon.
I do, yeah, it seems like the method for sending money, which is that icon at the bottom, it sort of makes sense. I mean, it's in a central spot. I would say that perhaps it could be a little bit more, like its visibility.
More prominent.
Yeah, more prominent, exactly. Yeah. And perhaps like how we use the cards and are they swiped through, but it seems like whatever you have active at the top might be the account you're sending it from, and that integration, you know, it would pay, pun intended, to think about that connection between the two, both in layout and you know, specifically how they function. Because like I said earlier, it's always kind of like you want to make sure you're sending it from the right account, and if that's not super clear, it can be kind of a scary thing, because all of a sudden you're sending $185 and you're like, okay. But yeah, this is nice. I like the overall layout. I like the homepage too. There's like it's like a total look. It's like you have your contacts, you have your feed,
An
and
overview
you have
of everything all at once. Yeah.
Cool. So great work, Abdel Halim. Thank you for sharing with us. All right, trust. That's a nice bold name.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, nice mock-ups. So on the top we've got a send to icon, and I guess this is like a receiving icon. You've got your money and your account maybe. So this is like from one place to another. Sending. This part gets a little confusing for me. I think there's just a lot going on there, so I'm a little confused like what to look at first maybe. Okay, so, it's Canadian money, maybe. Every month, just one. Not sure what this would be though. Is that maybe your credit card information?
Yeah, maybe, the number or perhaps that little like security number just to
Security
confirm
code.
it.
Okay, yeah.
Which again, that might be a good thing,
Yeah,
like that extra
that's
layer
true.
of security
That's
so you're
true.
not just inadvertently
Right,
sending,
right.
a ton of money.
Definitely. And again, I guess people are really liking the swipe ups because we got
Mhm.
another swipe up here. I think that's really nice.
It says swipe up to continue.
That's a little hard to read, I think, the
Mhm.
swipe up to continue. I don't know that it's necessary to have the text below. I think the arrow itself would be sufficient. And then on this screen, sending euros. Oh, I guess this is what you have sent previously. And your phone number. Very nice. I think it covers like everything I guess you would need to know. The
Yeah.
type of money, the phone number. I guess I would add like who you're sending it to, unless the phone number is the contact you're sending it to.
Right. Yeah, I think there is an interesting layer here. I mean, thinking about this consideration with different denominations too.
Mhm.
I mean, that's sort of an added layer in a more international, globally connected.
Right.
Like making that clear. That's like an interesting challenge. I appreciate that you kind of like took that on in this. I do think what maybe is most unclear for me too, or something, because I see what's happening with this graphic, right? Like this arc line is suggesting this is a starting point and this is an ending point, but actually neither is really clear depending on where is this coming from and where is it going to. So I think there might be an opportunity there to continue working on that section, perhaps those instead of little icons like the little bubbles that could be the contacts, or it could be clearer that this is me, this is where it's coming from, and this is who it's going to. I think that's a really interesting design language that you can start to explore further.
And that'd be a really interesting animation too. So like after you're sending it, or if you're in the process of sending it, the animation updates and maybe something exciting happens. Like once you get all the way over the arch, then I don't know, some confetti drops or something.
Yeah, celebration.
But, some kind of a like pleasurable feedback for these
Yeah.
would be fun.
But you did choose the color of trust according to like the modern web.
Yeah.
This blue is
Yeah.
it. So, but very cool. And I think just a note on the overall presentation too. This is a really good like kind of sort of quick glance, and it shows a nice consideration. It's really gorgeous, like rendered in this. But I do think to share this and really, if people are going to look at it and determine how the app functions itself, you might isolate the screens a different way, like bring them front and center, or put the XD experience in here, or make a video or something. It's kind of hard to kind of like zoom in and tilt your head.
Yeah.
But I do like this as an overall impression
For
of
sure.
like, this is my work. It's kind of gorgeous.
Even if it was just a little bit less isometric, like 30 degrees or
Yeah,
something,
yeah.
it'd be a little easier to
Yeah.
read. But yeah, overall, great work.
Yeah. So thank you, Brian.
Thanks for submitting.
Yeah. All right. I think this one's fully wired. I'm not sure how many pages there are, but let's see how we use it.
All right, send and receive. Oh, what is this? This is some kind of alphanumeric letter.
It looks,
Does that mean something? Okay, so we're gonna log in. Sending and receiving. Okay, so you choose the dollar amount over here. And this is me. And then these two. One thing I'm a little confused about is, am I sending or am I receiving here? So, okay, I guess we're sending. Oh, okay, so you choose.
I wonder, do you like drag that middle thing up or down?
Oh,
It's almost
that's
like
an interesting
gamified
interaction.
in a
Yeah. Right, you have to like physically hand
Uh-huh.
over the money. Okay, and then you enter the amount. This is kind of nice that it's like broken up into different screens and you focus on only one task at a time, so you're not like too confused.
True, we've seen like an all-in-one screen,
Right.
like which, you know, it comes with its drawbacks and its, you know, pros as well.
So I guess this is the end of this one. I'm not seeing any more
Hints.
hints, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're
Okay,
right.
yeah.
Cool. The typeface is really interesting choice.
Yeah.
I'm like transported to another moment in time,
Right,
like it was sort of
right.
medieval.
Yes.
Which, you know, to be honest, I think there's like a moment of playfulness that could actually be leaned into. And what
like
I mean,
you said, gamified.
Right.
Like maybe there's a gamified, like medieval feel to it.
exactly, like, and this idea of gold coins. I mean, you could
Yeah.
sort of, that could be the distinction between this and other apps on the market, is that this is sort of just like, you know what, why do I not send gold coins like
Right,
that represent
right.
money to my friends? And why,
Yeah.
like, when a transaction doesn't go through, does a dragon not come after me or something like that?
I love
and I
that.
know I'm like,
No,
I'm in a
that's
very
cool.
cliche world right now,
No,
but
that's-
like,
That would totally entice me to use it.
it's
you
a
know?
cool opportunity,
Yeah.
especially in a challenge like this, to again complete the experience of the thing itself, but also like add a layer of fun or add a
Right.
layer of like
Because money can be pretty like cut and dry.
exactly.
And that would
Yeah,
really make it fun.
that's fun.
Very neat. Gonna just go through this again.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the only screen where I had some confusion here was this one. Just choosing like who the sender is. How do you choose someone else?
Yeah, and assuming these are contacts, like like in the iPhone, you know, they abbreviate first and last.
Yeah.
Yeah, he says that's, I'm assuming Naveen, this is yours, says that's favorites in the middle,
Oh,
so
okay.
your most recent
Oh, I see.
contacts.
Gotcha.
And maybe,
Okay.
you know, you're just sending money to yourself.
Hey,
Like, yeah,
that'd be nice.
very cool. Well, thank you for submitting.
Yeah, thank you.
And let's check our last one. I think this is another like, yeah, day one. So let's like go through the whole
Okay.
experience and
Totally. Wow, this
see what
looks
this feels like.
fancy. Look
Mhm.
at the wireframes in the background there. Okay, so polls. Very nice icon. Get your answers.
can we answer these?
Do you like pancakes for breakfast? 73%.
What do you think? I'm kind of, I like, I guess who doesn't like pancakes?
Yeah,
but
I
I
love
prefer
pancakes.
a savory breakfast.
Oh, really?
Just if we're taking the poll right now.
No, yeah. Which of the following Adobe X do you use or like more? Oh, no one voted.
we didn't
on
vote.
this one. And hey guys, the question of today is: do you prefer to use PC or Mac to make designs? I always use Mac.
Let's take a vote in our chat right now. Who are the PC people? Who are the Mac people?
Yeah.
Not to put anybody in a bucket, but let's just see.
That person doesn't like pancakes.
Ah,
do you not like pancakes?
support. Well, yeah, I know. Yeah,
But if you put chocolate chips in them, I
that's
think
true.
fine.
Everything's better.
Yeah, everyone's saying Mac. Oh, PC. 50-50.
Someone's calling 50-50. It's
I
too
feel
early
like
to
it's whatever
tell.
your work
right
gives you.
Exactly.
Okay. This is a fun app. I like this. Lots of colors.
Yeah, it's cool. The Illustrator, Photoshop, and XD colors as well. Like that's a nice little thematic touch.
Yeah.
Customize. I imagine that the Creative Cloud, who created the poll, would like customize for
Right.
that.
You
Which
can
is
choose
nice.
your own colors. That's a good touch. Confirm your vote. Okay, so that's nice that you, instead of just like clicking one and that's your answer, you actually have to confirm it afterwards. I feel like they really thought this through.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice. Were you done with that one?
Mm-hmm.
Crowdfunding site. So Fondly, the easy way to help. Oh, turtle rescuers. That's a nice image. Okay, so this is a web app, I guess.
Yeah, it looks like it, and like really cool because I don't know. It's clear that you set a lot of context for what this is, right? To get down and actually like write the copy
I
for
was
what
just
a
gonna
turtle
say,
rescuers
yeah.
project would be. Like maybe that's something you're currently involved in, and so you can recall it. But also, I think that's a really cool part about this challenge too. Is like not only getting solve some design questions, but maybe visualize something you've had in the back of
Yeah.
your head for a while, and
Totally.
it's a good opportunity.
And that's interesting because I feel like a lot of jobs, it's like are designers expected to be the copywriters or not? But I feel like a lot of times you are expected to. But
I'd say
so
it
it's good
definitely
practice.
helps, right?
Yeah.
If you're thinking more about design, aside from just pixel pushing, but the total experience, like the language itself is a designed part of that
For
as well.
So the goal is $100,000. That's a lot. No, $100 million.
Mm-hmm.
And they raised 12,000 donations. Wow, all the info here. Make a donation. I almost feel like make a donation should be a little bigger because you really want people to click on that.
Mm-hmm. With a sea turtle icon.
Yes. Wow, they built out so many screens. This is amazing. Select your donation. Okay. So you choose the amount you want and how you want to donate. Very nice. Click on 30. Click on PayPal. Are you sure you want to donate? Wow, yeah, this is really well thought out.
Yeah.
Very nice. And I like the colors too. Like it's not too in your face. Very calm. Matches the picture.
Yeah, the cutout that the picture sits in is like sort of thematic, you know, it's like liquid or perhaps like a turtle shell or fin or
Yeah.
something, which is a nice additional touch.
I would donate.
All right.
Okay, so the next one is a video conference one. C-Call.
Communication is the key. Like adding taglines and things like
Wow.
that. Yeah. I hope we see a key come in though.
Yeah. Incoming video group call, so you can answer or decline. Okay. This though seems like too maybe notification-y to me. Like I might dismiss it or something if it was like, I don't know, something more vibrant. So you know it's like a video call. And then that's during the call. That's nice. Nice overlay. Half and half screen. Call ended. I like that.
Yeah, this is a small touch. We've seen like photos used in mock-ups before, and I think what's really nice here is like it's a really small and subtle distinct, or maybe it's not so subtle, but like it's a choice that these images are actually people like holding devices, right? It lends this believability to it that I think makes a ton of difference, even on a subtle level when you're looking at a project like this. So if this was just sort of like a portrait of somebody and it was really nice and hip, you know, like you could get off of like Unsplash or something, that would be one thing. It could look nice, but you know, these people look like they're on a call and someone's excited about their coffee and someone's like shopping. I think that's great.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Cool. And then, oh wow.
Oh wow.
It's a whole flow.
Oh my gosh. It's amazing. Okay, so you can look through your contacts, your call history. Wow, and lots of options for each favorite call video. There's a lot of blue on this screen. I feel like maybe these overlapping icons should be a different color. And then this is when you're in a call. Again, with the arm out.
Mm-hmm.
Very thoughtful.
Very interesting, precarious location to take a phone call from, but you know,
That's
I've taken
dangerous.
a photo on a kayak before. It's like,
Shared transportation.
and we've got 1 minute left
Okay.
as time flies. So
Wow.
yeah,
So you choose your location, 3 vehicles nearby. Man, so many. Wow, it tells you your battery, your payment method,
pollution level.
Wow.
That's
This
cool.
is so fun looking
Yeah.
through all of these. Okay, I better hurry up. We've got order flowers, flowery. Oh, that's cute. Got your login. Oh, top sellers. That's nice
fun.
to
Yeah.
see.
Yeah. Always nice to sort of suggest things for users, especially as part of an onboarding experience. Like maybe they don't really know what first step to take. You can-
Wow, $78 though? That seems expensive.
Flowers are expensive,
Maybe.
yeah.
Haven't bought flowers in a while. Okay, and you can choose the delivery date. Confirm your payment. Send money.
Okay, yeah, this was the one that was like, I think integrated. Like you can explore this in this Behance project.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Okay. Transfer money. That is such a cool feature. QR code. Choose who you're sending it to. Okay. And again, I like that this is an ingredient, so you are very aware that that's what you're doing. Choose how much.
You owe $100.
Transfer money.
Are you
You
sure?
sure? Yes. Very nice.
Operation made with success. That's great.
Very formal.
Yeah, I know.
That's cute.
All right. So I think
Wow.
we're at the end of our time. This is incredible.
Oh
I'm
my
glad we
gosh.
arrived at the end of time
Yeah.
with these projects. So thank you to everybody who submitted for the XD Daily
That was so
Challenge.
fun looking through
Yeah,
those.
it's great work. It's going to
Yeah.
happen again tomorrow. Also happening tomorrow is a full day of events. So tune in all day. We've got 3 amazing presentations going on. Andrea's going to be back at this same time tomorrow and the following day. And I'm sure you're going to be working on high fidelity prototypes.
Yes. So we'll be bringing the visuals into this same automated mailbox app.
Great. So tune in tomorrow to see more great work, more challenges, more giveaways. And thank you for joining us today. So until tomorrow, bye.
Bye, guys.